What's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another video. This time a different, maybe unconventional video from what you guys are used to here on the channel. I know we talk movies and whatnot, but a lot of people have been asking me personal questions either through DMs or live chats that I have here 3 times a week here on the channel. And I thought it would be fun to do a separate video, especially since people are posting this NGL, not gonna lie, anonymous question deal, which I think is extremely fun. I mean, sometimes people are afraid to ask certain questions if their name is attached to it, but thanks to this app, it's completely anonymous, and this could be either the greatest thing ever or the worst thing we're gonna see based on these questions. Now, I put this up on my Instagram, my Twitter, my YouTube feed for about 24 hours and just compiled all of the questions. I haven't looked at any of them, and I really just wanna do a blind answer reaction for you guys. Probably more of a short form video here for YouTube, but if you guys wanna see the full video, make sure to check out my Patreon link. I'll put that down below. And let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room. I know, I don't have a hat. Just got a haircut. I thought it looked fly and I wanted to show it off, so bear with me. All right, so first anonymous question. How did you choose your channel name? Now, I talked about this in the past on live streams, but once I even had the name Flix Talk, I was already on my personal accounts, just following people that did media and whatnot. And I came to realize that, you know what, to make this thing stick, it's really gonna take me broadening my horizons and talking all movies. And I'd already been watching movies. I mean, yeah, dramatic, action movies, thriller movies. That was all lumped in there with the horror movies that I was watching. I was just more favoring horror movies. And in the early stages of Flix Talk, I had no clue what this is gonna be, either movie reviews, movie reactions, trailer reactions, whatever, but I knew I wanted to be talking about movies. So I kind of looked into it and just kind of threw my little spin on the word Flix, F-L-I-X, and talk. I mean, that's what we're kind of here doing all the time, at least 3 times a week here on the channel, live with you guys. All right, now next anonymous message. The worst food you ever eaten. Okay. Time to get personal now. So didn't think I was gonna be doing all this, but all right. So if you guys don't know, I've been vegan for about 6 years now. And in the early stages of my transition, so to speak, actually I take that back. It was before the transition because I was with my girlfriend and she has been vegan for, I forget now, maybe about 15, 16 years. And in the early stages of us going on dates and whatnot, she took me out to vegan restaurants just to kind of culture me and just kind of, get me used to what her lifestyle is like, right? And I'm not gonna lie, no pun intended, I mean, I can't lie here, but I was really just trying to please her and her friends, especially one night we had gone to some vegan restaurant, which I absolutely love that style of food now. But I faked the funk so hard, I forget what it was, but it was like, I don't know. It was very earthy, very vegetable based, and it was something that I was not used to. I mean, growing up, man, all I knew was junk food, fast food, and that's it. There's no which way about it. I mean, every single junk food under the sun, I was inhaling, at one time. And I remember it was some kind of quinoa bowl or some kind of salad that, once again, I love now, but at that time I was not digging, and I had this crazy urge to just go to McDonald's, and I did right afterwards, and I scarfed down 20, 40 chicken McNuggets, and I vomited everywhere, and I was sick that next day. It was probably one of the worst food experiences of my life. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if it was necessarily from the vegan food. I think it was literally from the McDonald's that I just binged on. All right, next anonymous question, guys. Ever painfully watched a movie and tried making it to the end but just couldn't? If so, what movie was it and why did you turn it off? This includes shows too, if you had one that just didn't draw your interest as well. Oof, man, I mean, that's a really good one because we're so saturated with just streaming service movies all the freaking time, which I think denigrates the quality of a lot of these movies. And I mean, more recently, I turned off Spirited with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. I thought it was just not up my alley. Maybe not a bad film, but just not one for me. I mean, we turned it off 20 minutes in, we didn't think it was gonna be a full-blown musical like that. But through my years of watching movies, I mean, I've seen Freddy Got Fingered, I've seen Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I've seen freaking Mac and Me. And I mean, even though these movies are really panned and people just hate them to death for whatever reason, I always stick it out to the end. I mean, I saw movie 43 just for the fandom of like, what the hell is this? And I saw it all the way to the end. So I don't think I've ever actually walked out of a movie theater, but I've definitely come this close. And if I did, I don't remember the film. All right, next one. As a reactor, do you feel you need to amplify the emotions that you have during a reaction, or do you operate the same level in real life? I actually love that question, and I wish I had Laura here to confirm how crazy I can get when the camera's not on. She's always telling me, shh, the neighbors are gonna freaking call the cops on us, man. Like, I can get loud. I can absolutely get loud when it comes to, you know, something scaring me or just getting me really, really pumped up and whatnot. I can absolutely 100% confirm that I am the way I am on camera as I am off camera. And I mean, that may be an unfortunate thing because I'm just a very reactionary person. I feel like I've always been that way, maybe amplified just through technology. I mean, as I've gotten older and I've, gotten, better TVs and a better system and whatnot, I just feel immersed in these movies sometimes. And especially when I'm wearing the headphones, when I am reacting to something, loud noises really get me, jump scares and all that good stuff. But I'm there to have a good time. And by the time I'm like in the middle of the movie, I forget that I'm actually recording a reaction because I'm so into this movie sometimes. But I do watch other reactors and I can definitely say that I've noticed that it looks a little bit amplified. But once again, I don't know these people in personal life, so I can't tell if that's how they really are or they're just putting it on for the views. All right, now next up, guys, favorite music. I love James Brown music. Someone said, that's awesome. James Brown, man. Played a lot of James Brown in the house growing up from my mom's side. I talked about this before on the live stream, but I'll say it again for you guys. I am so glad, so blessed, whatever you want to call it, very fortunate to have parents that liked two different styles of this, two different distinct styles of music, because I grew up in the house listening to classic rock from my dad's side and listening to Motown oldies from my mom's side. I absolutely love being immersed in all of that culture of music, and I still listen to all kinds of music nowadays. But if I have a genre that I have to pick as far as my most frequently listened to, it's got to be EDM, electronic dance music. There's something about it. Like when I'm in a sluggish or just a sad mood, I put on an up-tempo beat, man, and I just really get into it. It makes me want to just walk around the block. It makes me want to just work faster, work better, like really just I throw it on at work and I'm just working faster. I find myself really working faster. All right, guys, now next up, someone asked, who are your best girlfriends? I'll be honest, I don't have any girlfriends. I don't even have too many guy friends in real life. But I will say girlfriends, all the girls that subscribe to Flix Talk and I talk to on a regular basis 3 times a week on live chat. How about that? All right, next up, what is your favorite Tarantino movie? Yes, and I was just watching the Tom Segura Quentin Tarantino podcast they just dropped a little while ago. And man, this guy is so fascinating. You guys know, before I had naked walls like I do now, I had a bunch of Quentin Tarantino posters up. Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Hateful Eight. I know it may be cliche and overrated to say that you like Quentin Tarantino just so you can be this, edgy cinephile type of guy or whatever. But no, for me, I really do appreciate all of his work. And yeah, they're definitely pictures that aren't meant for everyone. I will say that. They are quote unquote talkie pictures as far as them being drawn out by a lot of dialogue and exposition. And if that's not your cup of tea, I mean, there's action and, drama along the way, of course, but a lot of these situations are really just cameras put in front of people that are having full on conversations. And that's what I love about Quentin Tarantino, is that there's not too many directors that do what he does in the style that he does and say the things that he has his characters say, because people are too afraid to speak like that. Do I think people talk like that in real life? Absolutely. I work with people that talk like that in day-to-day life, so I know exactly the type of people that he writes for. And honestly, just hearing this guy's story, it just amazes me. It makes me really, really grateful to be a cinephile. So that being said, if I had to narrow down all of his 9 movies, well, more, he's attached to some screenplays and production and whatnot, but I will say the movie that just gets me on all cylinders as far as action, drama, thrilling aspects, horror, martial arts. Sure, you guys know where I'm going with this? It's got to be Kill Bill. I remember when I saw the trailer for that in theaters and I almost just dropped to my knees saying, I need to see this movie immediately. I remember seeing that as a kid, the trailer as a kid, and I just was counting down the days till this came out. I want to say early 2000s, maybe 2003. Also, can't forget the score. The score of that movie is fan-freaking-tastic. I mean, all of his movies have great score, whether it's accompanied by original composition or something from a soundtrack that he just gathered through the Quentin playlist. His mind and the mind of RZA, which picked this soundtrack for this movie Kill Bill, which is a double-parter. The first movie for me is just the all-around fun package movie, but it's still Quentin Tarantino style. And though I love Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, and most people love Pulp Fiction the most, which I absolutely do love Pulp Fiction. That's probably my second as far as rewatch, but I think Kill Bill, there's something about Kill Bill in that moment. I mean, once again, my mind was molding as a teenager while that movie was coming out. So I think it hit me a little harder than maybe people seeing it at an older age. Then maybe it probably hit people if they were, you know, an older age in the early 90s, which I wasn't. It probably hit them that way, the way Kill Bill hit me in the early 2000s. All right, next up. Hi, David. How do you answer people who criticize your love for horror films without saying to them, if you can't handle the violence and gore, then don't watch them? That's a good one, because it's always an easy scapegoat to just say, you don't like it, don't watch it. Okay, so with horror movies, and that's another thing, man, there's great horror movies, then there's really, really bad trash horror movies. And being a lover of both, because I can absolutely appreciate trash B-rated movies, I mean, you have to be in the mood for them, right? I mean, you know what you're gonna get just based off the cover usually, or based off the first 5 minutes of the film. But I'm actually really happy and appreciative to be where I'm at right now. My age, my mindset, having watched a lot of movies in this time where, especially in 2022, horror is in the forefront right now. I think they're taking thriller and these psychological horror movies just to the next level, and they're being recognized at the academies and all these different award ceremonies. And I absolutely love that. And I think it's important to either maybe cross mix genres, so people that don't necessarily like horror per se, just full on gore horror, you know, throw a little bit of action in there, throw a little bit of mystery, throw a little bit of sci-fi in there, throw a little bit of anything that can appease to another audience, so you can kind of hook them in a different way. I mean, but you're absolutely not going to convince someone that likes Legally Blonde type of movies to watch a Terrifier 2 and love it. I mean, it's just not going to happen sometimes. All right, next up, who was your first kiss? Oh my gosh. You know what? That's the one that sticks out of my brain, but I want to say that it was probably before that. All right, next up, which male actor and or music artist would you go gay for? Okay, here we go. Wow. Can't lie and say that I've never thought of this question. Gay! But I'm definitely gonna say it's a cross between Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Gosling, man. These guys are just masters. They are artists at what they do, and every aspect of what they do I can definitely appreciate. I mean, they look great, they kick ass, they are studs to the core, and honestly, maybe leaning towards more Ryan Gosling. I don't know, he's just a very attractive man. He's a very handsome man, I will say that. And I can definitely tell why women love him. I mean, you know, the movies that I do have of his, I'm looking more at the performances and just more of the badassnism. I mean, I saw Point Break recently. I'd seen it before, but I saw it once again recently. And I could understand why people love Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze in that movie, because they're just kicking ass and taking names, and they look good doing it. Ain't nothing wrong with appreciating that. All right, now next up, do you like getting your booty hole licked? Okay, we definitely saving this one for the Patreon, man. And last but not least, if you had to drink one flavored vodka every day for the rest of your life, which would you choose and why? A flavored vodka. Now, man, I got some horror stories about flavored vodkas. It's just that's why I usually drank them straight up, you know, or, you know, just the original with some Sprite or something like that. But if I had to choose a flavor, it would definitely be some kind of berry, like a cherry or a blackberry, or I don't even know the flavors out there for a berry type of vodka, but it would have to be something in that vein, because it's a little, you know, sweet and tart and whatnot. But I know they have, you know, key lime pie, and they have these, you know, whipped cream flavors. Those always used to jack me up. Ugh. And I had some bad nights on that, guys. And that's gonna wrap up the video, guys, for Not Gonna Lie. I thought that was pretty fun. I mean, anonymous questions. Once again, you got some normal questions, you got some personal questions. But if you guys want to check out this video in full, because there is some answers that I didn't put here on YouTube because they were a little graphic and racy. So yeah, I got to edit it down a little bit, but check the link down in the description below for my Patreon full reaction. And if you guys did appreciate this video, let me know by hitting that big thumbs up. To support the channel, consider subscribing now, where I do more videos like this, movie reactions, and live streams 3 times a week here on the channel. All right, guys, till next one, I'm gone. Peace.